Baseplan presents video features how to easily search for equipment available for rent using Power BI, focusing on the following areas: connecting to the Baseplan Analytics database, creating a Power BI dashboard, searching for equipment using a filter, drilling into the rental availability data, comparing utilization, quantity on rent, and meter readings.
Okay, so I'm currently logged into a blank page within the Microsoft Power BI desktop application. And again, like previous videos, I've actually connected up to the Baseplan Analytics database and pulled through the relevant tables that I need in terms of reporting on the data. So we want to look at how we can actually create a dashboard where we can actually look at our equipment availability quite easily. So what I've done is I've actually created a template down here that we can have a look at, and then I'll go through and show you how you can actually create the dashboard. So I've got a really simple dashboard here, but I think it's quite effective in terms of being able to quickly search for certain types of equipment. So starting from the top left here, we've basically got our quantity on rent by the category description. I've got the current percentage of fleet on rent by the different locations. And I've also got a grid down the bottom here, which is going to show me my different rental statuses that we can report on, and a range of different fields here, like utilization, quantity available, quantity on rent, and the current meter reading. Now, what the beauty here is that we can actually add these filters that allows us to actually quickly search for a combination of the model description. So maybe somebody was after a particular certain type of boom lift, for example, and you wanted to quickly search for that. You can actually type in here just a small part of the description and it will pull up the information. So let's say that we needed a boom lift with a jib, for example. I typed in jib. It'll actually look through and bring back all the different types of boom lifts and any other attachments that actually have a jib. So I can maybe say I'm looking for a straight boom lift 45, and it'll actually update all the information here and show me what's available and what's on rent, along with the status in terms of the utilization for the different locations. What I can then do is I can actually click on this plus button and it will start giving me some more information. I can drill all the way down into the serialized items, where I can start seeing the individual utilization rates against each item and the quantities that are available along with the meter readings. So let's jump back into a blank page and look how we can actually create something like this quite quickly. Okay, so we're going to start off by actually pulling up the quantity on rent section. So I can just hit a pie chart here and just drag this into the middle section. And we want to go over to the fleet details. So we want to scroll down and look at the quantity on rent, drag that on. So it's given us a single total here. Then we want to do is we want to go find the category. So let's go up to find category description and then drag that on. Now, to clean this up a little bit, we can actually go to this format section and we can get rid of the legend, and we might want to update this to show the category and the percentage of the total. Now we want to bring through the percentage on rent, maybe by the different locations. So same sort of deal, we can go over here and choose our graph that we want, pull it up the top, and we can maybe want to look at the utilization table. So we can go down here and find the different utilization areas. Might want to find time utilization potentially. And then all we need to do is find the particular branch and drag that on as well. You can see here it's given us a single color. We might want to divvy up that color. So what you need to do is you need to drag branch onto the legend section as well. We can start doing things like showing data labels, and it'll give us the percentage. Now, in terms of the actual table itself, we want to bring through what we call a matrix table. So click on matrix, and we can drag this down to make it a bit bigger. And we want to go through and start putting the tables in here. So if we have a look at our fleet table again, we can actually scroll down here and have a look at, say, rental availability. As we can see here, it's pulled through the relevant items automatically. And then we might want to start looking at things like the financial utilization. So I can go down here and look at financial utilization and drag that on. And you can see here, it's adding that column in. So we can continue to add more and more of the items as we go in. So we might want to look at the quantity of items, and then we might want to look at the quantity available, and then the quantity on rent. And then we might also want to pull through the meter readings. So what we can do is, I've actually got a meter reading table here, but what we want to do is we want to add the ability to have that plus button, so we can actually drill into the information that's below this area. So what we can do is, because it's going to want to look at the meter reading for the different pieces of equipment, we can click on this area and go up to the top here. And what we want to do is we want to basically start adding the hierarchy that we want to drill into the data. So we might want to drill in at the top level, maybe at the type. So I can go over here and choose type, and we want to drop it below the rows. And you can see here when I do that, it adds this plus button automatically. So I can click on this now, and it will bring through all those items. Now we want to continue to add more layers to this. So maybe you want to pull through the equipment description, this one here, and add that in. And then we can go all the way down to the equipment number if we wanted to. And so once that's in, then we can start looking at the meter readings. So if I go over here and then choose the meter reading, I can drag this on as well. Now, what we're going to want to do is, we can see here, if we drop this down, it's basically giving us our information. Now we want to quickly search this information. So the way that we do that searching is through filters. So I can go over here and click on this slicer, which is a filter, and I can then start searching for the equipment description. So we're going to go down here and find equipment description. And so equipment description, this one, and drag it on. Now it's going to give you a list like this to begin with. The way you can actually add the search is by clicking on, these three dots and then going search. And that'll give you that bar there. And so that I can start typing in things like jib, like we did before, and then click on 45, and then we've got the same data we're looking at just before. So hopefully this has given you a little bit of insight in terms of how you can create a fairly quick availability report in the dashboard. And look, if you have any questions or have any ideas on future topics, please leave a comment in the section below, and I hope to see everyone again in next week's session.